Terastallization is the new signature mechanic introduced with the release of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, and this feature has been very controversial on competitive Pokémon before it was already released. In both VGC and competitive singles, this mechanic has proven to be problematic due to how unpredictable it is. One wrong move against an unexpected Tera type could lose you the game outright, making this mechanic very uncompetitive. In VGC, players have already adapted to this with the open team sheets, allowing players to view each other's teams before a battle. In competitive singles, Terastallization has been suspect tested for a potential ban in December 2022, 1 month after the release of Generation 9, and it barely survived, needing a 60% pro ban for it to get banned, or at least some action to be taken against it, but it ended up with a 59% voting pro ban, meaning nothing got changed about Terastallization. As time went on, Tera seemed to be less problematic as Tera became more predictable, as most Pokemon only run a few Tera types and some only run one. However, with the release of Pokémon Home compatibility, Terastallization has once again shown how powerful it can make certain Pokemon, resulting in a lot of them getting banned because of it. This has many players asking for a tearing action against the mechanic. So why is Terastallization so controversial in competitive Pokemon? Terastallization of course allows every Pokemon to change to any type they desire. This allows many offensive Pokemon to further increase their offensive power by using a Tera type matching a type they already have, or obtain a new typing to get an additional coverage move with Tera Blast, or they can even use a more defensive type for easier setup opportunities against Pokemon that could otherwise force it out. Defensive Pokemon also benefit a lot from Tera, as defensive walls can gain a better typing, making them harder to take down, or they can use it in a pinch when they lack a certain resist, or as a response to an offensive Pokemon getting out of hand. Needless to say, Tera is a defining part of the singles metagame. The mechanic has however proven to be problematic as a result. Terastallization can easily push a lot of otherwise balanced Pokemon or even already strong Pokemon over the edge. Two very recent examples include Regieleki and Calyrex Shadow. These Pokemon both set a new record for the fastest quick ban in the Overused and Uber's Tier respectively. Regieleki only got banned because of its newly found coverage with Tera Blast Ice, giving it the amazing Bolt Beam coverage to hit Grass, Dragon and Ground types, which could otherwise shrug off its Electric Stab. In Generation 8, Regieleki was a pretty mediocre Pokemon in singles at least, and the only thing that kept it in check were Ground types, as it lacked the coverage to hit them. In Generation 9 however, Tera completely solves this, resulting in it having pretty much no reliable counterplay and getting banned in 1 day. Calyrex Shadow is in a similar boat. While this Pokemon was arguably the best Pokemon in Gen 8 Ubers, even getting a suspect test as well, it was kept in check by Dark types, mainly Yveltal, as it did not really have great coverage to hit them. In Gen 9 however, Calyrex Shadow could use Tera Fight or Fairy to break through Dark types, and stumble easily after that, leaving it with no counterplay and getting banned as a result. These two are not the only examples. Volcarona, a Pokemon that has been a staple in the metagame for generations, got banned as well due to how threatening it was with a Tera type. Volcarona has always been known as a Pokemon that can beat Pokemon it should not be able to, despite its non-existent coverage. Volcarona did however have enough counters and checks to keep it in check in past generations. But with Tera, Volcarona could use many different Tera types with Tera Blast to take care of its counters. A few examples are Tera Water for fire and ground types like Heatran, Skeletor and Landorus T, Tera Ground to hit fire and poison types like Heatran, Toxapex and Slowking Galar, and even more niche options like Tera Ghost to avoid Extreme Sweep from Dragonite, and Tera Rock to hit both Excalibur and Dragonite. Urshifu Rapid Strike got quick banned as well, with Tera Water playing a huge part in its ban, giving it a boost to Surging Strikes and Aqua Jet, allowing it to break through Pokemon it should not be able to, like Toxapex and Amoonguss. Even right now, there are still Pokemon that can greatly abuse Tera to make them more powerful. A very great example of this is Kingambit. Kingambit has been a controversial Pokemon for a while now, and part of this has to do with Tera. Kingambit is arguably the best Tera user in the tier, as it can easily set up on a Pokemon that could otherwise beat it like Great Tusk, Cinderace and Iron Valiant. Kingambit also has many different types it could run, like Tera Flying, Fire, Fairy and Dark, making it very unpredictable as a result. Kingambit can easily turn games around with one free Swords Dance opportunity, and Tera can allow this to do this reliably. Excalibur is in a similar case, where it can use Tera Fairy or Ground for easier setup opportunities, or Terra Dragon to break through defensive checks that could otherwise take a hit. Garganacl is a defensive wall that is also a very good Terra abuser, as Mono Rock is a very poor defensive typing. Terra Fairy, Water or even Ghost gives a much better typing, making it very hard to take down as well. Let's not forget about Terra Flying Roaring Moon, which was warranted for a quick ban very early on in the generation and is still a very threatening Pokemon as of right now. Cases could also be made for Terra Fairy Iron Valiant and Enamorous, making Moonblast, especially Choice Specs variants, very hard to switch into. Terra has caused many players asking for a ban of Terra to prevent more Pokemon from getting potentially banned, or at least some restrictions like VGC has, where you could see the Terra types of the opponent during the match, easing prediction on Pokemon like Gambit, for example. Overall, Terastallization is a very interesting and defining mechanic of Generation 9. It cannot be ignored how much impact it has made on the viability of many Pokemon and how unpredictable an uncompetitive mechanic can be. While I personally don't want Terra to get banned, I wouldn't mind some kind of restriction to make Terra more manageable. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Terra controversy, and check out this video on the screen. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.